There has been a history of more than one criminal in the world. But in South America, in the country of Colombia, there was a criminal who was not only bloodthirsty and powerful, but was also the seventh richest person in the world. This king of the cocaine world owned $25 billion in the late 1980s. At that time, Colombia's total GDP was around $49 billion, which means this man alone held almost half of his country's wealth in his pocket. He was so rich that his gang did not count money, they weighed it in kilograms. He had to store his wealth in warehouses where nearly 10% of it was destroyed every year. He spent his money on buildings, islands, private zoos, football fields, luxury cars, submarines, and airplanes. Once, he even burned millions of dollars in cash just to keep his daughter warm during the cold. And even after all this, his wealth showed no sign of decreasing. There was only one law in the world's largest and richest drug mafia, plata o plomo. Plata meant money. Join me, and I will make you so rich that your next 7 generations will live without working. Plomo meant lead. If you go against me, I will not only bury you, but your entire family in the ground. Because of this terrifying rule, police officers, ministers, journalists, and judges were all under his control. Anyone who opposed him was eliminated. In his criminal career, he killed more than 4,000 people, including over 600 police officers. His fear was so deep that people trembled just by hearing his name. He was so powerful that even the Constitution of Colombia changed at his command. When he was arrested, it was only on one condition, that he would have his own prison, and even the guards of that prison would belong to him. This is the story of the world's largest and richest drug lord, Pablo Escobar, a criminal whose impact on the world of crime was so great that even decades after his death, no one has been able to match him. A cancer to Colombia, a monster. I wish he had spent the rest of his life in prison. That is what I wanted. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born on December 1st, 1949, in the city of Rio Negro, Colombia. He was the third of 7 children. His father was a farmer, and his mother was a schoolteacher. Shortly after his birth, the family moved to Medellin, where Pablo grew up and began his studies. In the beginning, he dreamed of becoming a lawyer and later a politician. But as he grew older, his thinking changed. He realized that the most powerful person in the world is the one who has money. He understood the importance of money when he was forced to leave his studies due to his family's poor financial condition. After dropping out, he decided that he must become rich as soon as possible, no matter the path. He promised himself that if he did not earn 1 million pesos by the age of 25, he would commit suicide. This hunger for wealth pushed him into crime. Along with his cousin Gustavo Gaviria, he began with small illegal activities such as selling fake degrees, stealing sound equipment, and even robbing tombstones. But these small crimes were not enough. Soon, before the age of 20, he moved into car theft, kidnappings, and murder. He kidnapped wealthy people, demanded ransoms, and if the money was not paid, he killed them mercilessly. Many times, even after receiving the ransom, he still killed his victims. In 1971, he kidnapped industrialist Diego Echevarria, demanded $50,000, received the money, and still murdered him. By the age of 22, Pablo Escobar had become a millionaire. His crimes brought him into conflict with both rival criminals and the police. In 1974, he was arrested for car theft and sent to jail. Even prison did not stop him. He bribed officials and continued his work. Pablo's only goal was money. Wherever he saw profit, he entered that field. Theft, forgery, kidnapping, and murder were just tools. But everything changed when he entered the cocaine business. In the 1970s, drugs were flooding into America, and Colombian traffickers were printing money. Pablo saw this as his greatest opportunity. He first worked for other drug mafias, learning smuggling routes and building powerful connections. Knowing that real power comes from independence, he decided to build his own cartel. In 1975, he killed a major trafficker and forced his men to work for him. In 1976, he formed the Medellin cartel, controlling production, transport, and distribution of cocaine. Cocaine was smuggled through car tires, televisions, fish, condoms, and even aircraft. Pilots were paid $500,000 per flight. His empire expanded across Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. Soon, he controlled nearly 80% of the cocaine entering the United States, earning around $420 million every week. Despite being surrounded by drugs, Pablo never consumed cocaine himself. With wealth came political ambition. He built homes, hospitals, schools, and stadiums for the poor, turning himself into a Robin Hood figure. In 1982, he became a member of the Colombian parliament, but investigations exposed his criminal empire. Forced to resign, he responded with violence. Journalists and ministers were assassinated. When Colombia signed an extradition treaty with the United States, Pablo declared war on his own country. Bombings, assassinations, and terror followed. Planes were destroyed, judges were killed, cities burned. In 1991, he surrendered, only on the condition that he would live in his own luxury prison, La Catedral. The government accepted. La Catedral was not a prison, it was a palace. Pablo continued running his empire from inside. When authorities tried to move him, he escaped. A massive manhunt followed, involving Colombian forces, the USDA, and his enemies. One by one, his allies were killed. On December 2, 1993, a day after his 44th birthday, Pablo Escobar was located in Medellin. As police closed in, he attempted to escape across rooftops. Gunfire erupted. Within seconds, the richest and most feared criminal in history was dead. Whether he was killed by police or took his own life remains a mystery. For Colombia, it was justice. For many others, it was the loss of a protector. But for the world, it was the end of the most powerful criminal ever known, the king of cocaine.